My Lord, look at all beautiful people. Sam Foster, thank you so much for joining in Dallas, Texas. I know tomorrow morning you'll be with TD Jakes. Miss Dee Dee Sanders, thank you so much. Love you guys for being on the call tonight. Let's go down the list. Oh my goodness, Miss Baker, good evening. Good seeing you on the call. Mr. Tim Carrera up in up in Minnesota. Thank you so much. Perla Banal just jumping on. We'd like to also thank Miss Natasha Ismail. Good evening, Regional Director. Wow. Miss Diane Collins, don't you look pretty as always? Good evening, Australia there, Mike. And I'd like to thank Mr. Julian Lewis, Regional Director in San Diego. He's doing it. And Miss Gail, thank you so much for Japan in Japan. Thank you, sir. Miss Marcia Carter, thank you. Miss Pat Robinson, trying to match me with the black and white. I see you over there in Oakland. Hey, Miss Kaz over there, Regional Director out in Australia, 2 nights in a row. I think I'm so honored. Miss Melissa Vaughn, thank you for joining. Miss Sensational, what kind of glass you got on tonight? Okay, you got the blue ones on down in Florida. I know it's Florida. It's 9 o'clock in Florida. Look out. Miss, thank you so much. Miss Christina, thank you so much. Coach Johnny, you're here in Las Vegas. That young man's going place with our business. Miss Tinko in Japan, thank you so much. Miss Konohara in Japan, thank you so much. Wow. Mr. Dale Ranson, thank you so much. Freddie Sherman, thank you so much. Miss Natalie Pereira in Vegas, thank you. Miss Walker, thank you so much for joining. We'd like to thank Miss Joyce Brewer, TJ in Ohio. Good question yesterday, dear. Mr. David Wright, thank you so much. Wow, that should conclude it for now. Hey, folks, I want to first of all by saying promotions. We had just a few this past week. I don't know if Mr. Bree Clemens got the slide ready to show or not, but if you do, sir, we can go ahead and show it. And meantime, happy hour last night was amazing. How many of you guys were on happy hour last night? Man, that kept going and going and going and going. Here we go. November vivid customers so far. Mr. Bree Clemens running in 3. Miss Marie, she's got 1, and Miss Sunny has 1. So get at least 6 more before we can do, actually 5 more to do the drawing. So please be aware that the drawing, thank you, Miss Gail. The drawing is so important. The raffle is so important. These are the things I want to give away because you know me, I always like to give. I'm a giver. With the closed fist, you can't give receipt. The more you give, the more you can succeed. And first of all, if I get any further, start any further, can we give Mr. Bree Clemens a hand for always faithful on every single call, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. He's got them all covered. And trust me, I could not be where I'm at without him. So I got to give respect where respect is due. And like it says at the bottom here, it says, please remember to submit by noon your time zone by Friday, any promotions. Folks, we should have so many promotions. We have 3 or 4 pages promotion. So please be a leader and get those submitted. Very important. Very important. All right. So we're going to move on from there. Happy hour was amazing last night. I appreciate all the input from all the leaders. Mr. Julian Lewis did a fantastic job. All the regional directors, Ms. Kaz did a wonderful job. Ms. Ingrid did some wonderful input. It was just amazing. Ms. Natasha Ismail, great input. Mr. Chris King talking about the tamales they do. It was Friday night was just, I mean, our Friday night happy hour has just been, how many of you guys have fun with those little things we did last night? The question, the top 10. Wasn't that great? Some of y'all went off into, so I know some after we got off, some of y'all went back and played some of that stuff. Now, the reason I want you to understand is to bless you. I can do this without getting tearful at it. Let you know, God, you've been brought a long way. You have been brought a long, long way. And it's only respectful tonight leadership. Turn around and give back. You've been blessed, but you got to give. Dee Dee, okay, so I have Dee Dee, texted the number, the vivid customer. Thank you, dear. Thank you. Look, we have until the 23rd. I want to give away so many watches. I want to give away so much. But how can I say this respectfully? I'm trying to bless you to let you know, no matter whose organization, how great, how much I respect and appreciate you. And Mr. Bree Clemens, this goes out of his way time and time endlessly, just to bless you. These calls, and this is leadership. Now, let me say this. Saturday night is not for the faint of heart. We don't have as many people on Friday night as we do on Saturday night is leadership if we do on Saturday, because people come on, want to party, I get that. But Saturday night for me is the core group, the essence of people that want to become a senior vice president, who want to become a COC. The people on Saturday is a total different group, and I got to talk to you differently. This is where the rubber hits the road, and it's so important. You guys are the future SVPs and Circle of Champions members, and that's why I don't call anybody to get them on Saturday night. I don't do that. I don't, because the ones who want it will show up without me asking them to. Does that make sense? So I want to say thank you, all of you, for showing up on Saturday nights, because that is a power, that is a core, that is the future of this company. Now, I've been talking the last 2 weeks on how to handle objections, how to overcome some objections, and I want you guys to do something tonight. So tonight we're going to take it in a different direction. I do believe in the hearts of hearts that you guys want to be where the shoes that I wear, and I want you to be there. Trust me. Here's what I want to do tonight. Tonight we're going to take it in a different perspective. This is leadership. Okay. I need to know from you. I'm going to shut myself up. I have been leading you and leading you and leading you. Tonight, we have 5 weeks, 5 Saturdays for this year is gone. I need my report card for my students. I need my report card. Okay, thank you, Didi. Get that into the number. Thank you for another vivid customer. God bless you. I need to know from my students my report card for you for the year. No leaders do that. No leaders want a report card. I want my report card from you. Since I have been mentoring you, I need my report card to let me know how well I've done for this year. Is that a fair deal? Now, what I want from you as a leader, I want to know, number one, write this down. What have you learned this year about the business, about gathering customers, about IDOs, and about people? Let me know what you learned from me, because I need that regard. I need to get a score on me. Does that make sense? I need to know how well I fared with you, because if I didn't teach you anything, then I get a low score. But if I taught you something, I should get a pretty decent score. Does that make sense? Now, I'm going to tell you a story so we can start this leadership off tonight, and tell me, and I want you to and the last thing I want you to prospect me things that you're sending after you send a video out. What kind of results are you getting, and what kind of feedback are you getting? And maybe I can help you close them better. Does that make sense? Now, for me, tonight is my scorecard, because I need to know, have I been effective in your life as a leader? Does that make sense? Now, I'm going to start off with a little story. This kid, back in the days, Mr. Coach Johnny, back in the days, they used to have phone booths. Some of you remember the phone booths in England. Is big in England, the phone booths, and the little red phone booths and everything. The little black truck, taxi cabs in London. It's pretty famous. So I'm gonna give you an idea what I'm talking about. This little kid went to the phone booth. Back in the old days, they used to have pharmacies on the corners, and they used to have delivery boys that deliver the furniture, deliver the medication to the patients and all that, back in the good old days. Okay, now go back with me for a little bit in history. Back in the old days, they had the kids delivering the pharmaceutical stuff to the patients and all that, to their apartments and houses. And this little boy, kind of like me, I'll put it this way, I was a little boy. Okay. And I went to a phone booth, and I waited, and I picked up the phone booth and I put the dime in, because back in the good old days, it cost a dime to make a phone call. After last night, y'all should know that. and I called the pharmacy, and I said, hello, hi, hey, I'm applying for a job at the pharmacy. And the guy on the other end the girl say, hey, we got a delivery boy, we don't need one. And this is what I would say, is he a good one? And they say, yeah, he's pretty good. He's done well. We got no complaints. Are you sure you're happy with that guy? Oh yeah, we're very happy with that guy. All right, I just want to know. Okay, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it. And I hung up the phone. And right outside the phone booth, this guy or girl was listening, and they said, wait a minute. Aren't you the little boy that work at that pharmacy that you just called on? I go, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I'm the person. Well, why would you call to see if they want to hire somebody else? And this is what I would say. I'm just checking up on myself. See how good I'm doing. So sometime in life, ladies and gentlemen, leaders, you got to check up on yourself. Sometimes we read our own scorecard and we give ourselves all these A's and 99, but sometimes you have to stop your life and ask the people that you serve, hello, what does your scorecard look like so far this year? How would he shape up? Would you renew the little boy's contract again at the pharmacy? So I'm asking you tonight to renew my contract, but I need to have a checkup from the neck up. I need a checkup from y'all. And I want you guys to tell me, what have you learned from me this year that has blessed you? So I'm reversing the roles tonight. Instead of me teaching and preaching, I want you to tell me, I need to know what my scorecard looked like for the year. Is that okay, Miss Pat Robinson, Miss Marcia Carter, Miss Collins? I need to know what my scorecard looked like this year. So I want you guys to share with me what you got for me, Mr. Marvin Carter, Mr. Johnny, Coach Johnny. I need to know from you, Mr. Tassie Ismail, what does my scorecard look like, Miss TJ? Mr. Tim Carrera, I need to know, Mr. Bree Clemens, what is my scorecard? What have you learned? Or what have you have not learned, Mr. Sam Foster, Miss Perla Banal, Miss Sensational, Miss Dee Dee? I need to know, I need a checkup right now on my scorecard or what I've done this year. So that will help me better serve you next year, Mr. Julian Lewis and Mr. Dale Ranson. Also, Ms. Celia, I need to know, Ms. Walker, what the scorecard looked like so far. What did you learn this year that got you into maybe more customers, more ideals, Mr. David Wright, Mr. McDowell? I need to know, Ms. Kinko. I need to know, Mr. Tayon, what does the scorecard look? So, Ms. Baker, if you can, Mr. Carter, Ms. Christina, what does my scorecard look like? What have you learned from me that has blessed your business, Mr. Sherman? I need to know, Miss Joyce Brewer, what has changed for you, Miss Melissa, Miss Wiggins? So I need to know. I got 5 more weeks left of this month of this year to increase my overall scorecard with you. What have you learned from me that has blessed your life, got you more customers, more ideals, or made you a stronger person within? The lines are open. I need to hear back from you. What have you learned from me? Because I need to check myself out and make sure I'm on track to bless you. I'm ready. I'm all ears.
Well, Mr. Thomas, I'll start. This is Coach Johnny in the Las Vegas market. It's good to see you again, sir.
Yes, sir.
And to everybody else on the call, it's an absolute blessing to see you guys. I'll start with your scorecard. If you got a scorecard for me, Mr. Thomas, it would absolutely be an A plus. When I knew exactly what I needed to do after this whole situation we're going through happened and my business shut down, everything that you taught me over 16 years ago came back to mind, and I had to search you down immediately because I had some things I needed to fix. And it's your consistency. My second son is 14 years old, and when I met you, he was a baby. Your consistency is off the charts to me. I was telling my brother that you were still teaching the same thing today that you were teaching back then. The same exact thing, the same exact stuff, and it hasn't changed. And so I'm excited to be back in the fold again and back to learning and increasing my wisdom and my knowledge. It's strengthening. It's very empowering, and I appreciate you for that. Don't want to take up too much time, but A plus for me, and I appreciate you. I do. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Coach Johnny. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, hey, sir. Mr. Thomas, this is Sam Foster coming at you from Dallas, Texas. I want to say I'm gonna give you a special scorecard. I'm gonna give you an F, and the F stands for fantastic. Okay, I want to make sure that I put you in the class all by yourself, because I know that we get a lot of people on these calls, especially throughout the week, that you put on the calls, and they often say, you don't have to be on the calls, you don't have to do this, you don't have to do that. And I've often heard people say that live, when we had these different conferences, they all say the exact same thing. He doesn't have to do this, blah, blah, blah. But you do it time and time again. And the thing that comes to mind when I think about you, Mr. Thomas, is that you're anointed to do it, and I'm not trying to be deep when I say that. It's just an honest statement. Some people are just, they're just anointed to do certain things. You just so happen to be anointed to actually do the thing that you were born to do. Some people are not born to do certain things or don't know what their call is. You're an actual person that actually walks in your gift, and that's hard to do. I'm gonna say probably less than 2% of the world can actually say that. Most people can say they stumbled up on a certain thing, they can say they learned a certain thing, but to be honest with you, Mr. Thomas, you've always, in my opinion, you've always walked in your calling. You never came out your calling. You've always been anointed to do it. You've been blessed to do it, and you've been blessed to have multiple people that have done it not only under you, but you are a leader of leaders. So if I can say anything in a nutshell, I'll say that we want to continue to lift you up in prayer because it's not hard what you do. I'm sure it's not hard. I mean, it's not easy for you to do it, but you do it with grace, you do it with style, you do it with elegance, you do it with class, and you're never not off your game. I don't know if you go to the great gods that they may be, but you're never off your game. And I don't care who it is, but you're never off your game. So I just want to say thank you. We're gonna give you an F, and that doesn't stand for fail, that stands for fantastic.
Thank you, Mr. Sam Foster. You be blessed. Thank you. Wow.
Mr. Thomas,
Yes.
this is sensational, and I just wanted to say that you have a heart of giving, and you've taught me how to be a better servant leader. That you come on, and like all the other gentlemen have already stated, you get a +A++, because that you give, even you, and you never seek anything in return, and you bring the best of the best to us, and you want us to excel, and it's left up to us to do that. And so I'm thankful that you give us a continuous platform to come in on a daily basis to get the seeds of wisdom that we need to go out and do ACN in an excellent way. And so I'm just thankful. I've had an opportunity to see you in person, but being able to be mentored on a daily basis by you and hear the wisdom that you give us on a daily basis is priceless to me. So I just wanted to reach out and say that. Thank you for all that you do.
Thank you, Miss Sensational down here in Florida. Thank you, dear. I appreciate that. Not only that, there's only 3 of you. I appreciate the 3 of you. But also through the year, this year, what have you also learned? A, about obtaining customers, B, about IBOs, getting IBOs, and C, which is really important, about people. And I didn't go as far as D. What have you learned about yourself?
Hey, Mr. Thomas, this is Julian.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to say this. I had an opportunity to meet you years ago, and before I met you, I had already met you via a CD, and it was, the things that basically people get wrong in network marketing. And what I remember that, and I was just thinking, just to know that I know the man behind that, the person that you are, has given me validation on a lot of things. And what I mean is, I've been in this industry long enough to see people that have been in, that were one-hit wonders. They did it once, and then they couldn't do it again for several reasons. A lot of them had imposter syndrome. They didn't think it was them the first time. They couldn't change with the times. They couldn't evaluate what was happening that was new. They got too safe and too afraid to try. And what I've seen you do is you've come from one company, go to the top, went to the top of this company, and you're constantly reinventing yourself. You're constantly learning and growing. You never act as if you already know everything in the industry. And that's what I find that's amazing, because with that example, you're showing us what we should be doing. And what I learned about myself through watching what you're doing in a different time, in a different place in your life, is that no matter what the world throws at us, we're still people. And the connection that you learn with people is so priceless. And that's the piece that most people are missing. It's not about social media. It's not about, making a phone call. It's not about shooting out a text. It's about using whatever platform now to connect with people where they're at so that they can see that we care. And that's something that you've done tremendously well, whether it's knowing the age of my daughter, whether it's knowing what we talk about over the years, whether it's other people's birthdays, regional vice presidents that you call that have nothing to do with you, that you connect with and you remember them. And it's just special things that you don't ever ask for. You never seek recognition for it. You just do it because of who you are. And that's the example that we need more of in the world. And I appreciate being able to be with you in live in person and also through this medium to continue to grow as you stretch and grow yourself. You're helping to shape and mold others, including myself. So I appreciate you, sir.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate you saying that. I learned something yesterday that was used for me from you when you talked about the different age, the different ages, people of my age, we pick up the phone, young people, you want to text first and then call them. I went, whoa, that was huge for me. I mean, I don't know if y'all got a blessing out of that, but if you're over 21 like I am, well, 23 to 24 like I am, you got a big blessing out of that yesterday, because that I learned something. Let me tell you guys something. If you're taking notes, write this down. I mean this from my heart. School is never out for the professional. You're always learning. I learned something yesterday that I had to sit back and like, whoa, that is big. Here again, I didn't see that before. That blindsided me. But Mr. Julian Lewis, when he came out of his mouth, I had to sit back and take notes on that. I go like, that is so true. Because young people text them, is it okay to call you? People my age, just pick up the phone and call them. We used to that human touch, but that shows the difference in generations, but also it gives you an insight on how to talk to people and the right time, right, Mr. McDowell? Yeah, and it's so that was profound for me last night. You have no idea. I learned a lot from you guys. As much as I give you, I'm still learning. School is never out for the professional. This past week, kind of giving an example, Miss Ismail did something about jump. She talked about, clothes and brand names. See, it's right here. She talked about the frog. Y'all remember the frog? See, are you taking notes? Are you learning? See, you always got to be learning. So that to me was like so profound. I forgot to call Monday. I said, my God, look, let me tell you something. All the speakers we've had, their whole entire game of conversation has risen big time since March. Mr. Lewis talked about Harriet Tubman, and he what's that word again, Mr. Lewis?
Freestyle.
Freestyle. I don't want to say whatever I said wrong last time. Y'all busted up. I still got to get the understanding of what that meant. But he was free. Maybe one of y'all could text me what that meant, but what I made a mistake on. But he talked about freestyling with Harriet Tubman. He could have saved a lot more. And I'm going to say to people when I talk to them, what I'm going to talk to them about, man, I'm like Harriet Tubman. What do you mean by that? I could have saved a lot more people if they only knew they had a job and they were enslaved. See, that blessed me that day, because he said it's something totally different. I've heard, I kid you not, it's my favorite story about Mr. Lewis. You know it. He'll ask me, what do you want to talk about? I'll say, talk about Harriet. But when he did that this past Tuesday, and he what was it?
Freestyle.
Freestyle, okay. When he freestyled it, he said something totally different. It's like, oh my God, I can use that. Wait, I can use what I learned from him. And then Mr. Williams, I was taking a trip with my daughter, and I told her about it, going through the mountains. Miss Ismail stepped up, introduced him, and he talked about faith. I know what he talked about. I went back and listened to it while I was on the road, coming back from LA with my daughter on a Wednesday night. Because I don't miss any of the calls, folks. I don't miss anything. I don't let nothing get by me. I don't miss anything. And then Thursday, Mr. Woods talked about the raffle. We're trying to give y'all stuff. And then on Friday, Mr. Caesar talked about, work through the holidays. He talked about his son, CJ. But see, you guys got to understand, just don't be listening, take notes. Go back and regurgitate the conference calls. They're there for you to be successful. And let me say this. I have never met one person, I'll say it again. I haven't met one person that's left this company. And I text about 400 to 500 people every day. And I get people 2 or 3 a week. Take me off the call, take me off the, I'm not doing ACN. What's that gonna do with personal development? And then they start falling apart from ACN. They don't develop anymore. They go back to that same old, same old. I've had some of them dye their hair, yellow people, purple, girt. It's like, what's wrong with you? If you're not doing ACN is one thing, but personal development is something you gotta stay close to no matter what you go through in life. So thank you for that, Mr. Lewis. I just want to capsize on the speakers. I could go back and tell you what every speaker talked about I could tell you what every speaker talked about. Are you up on your game enough to know what every speaker talked about? That's important. That's important. So let's continue this conversation. Who else want to give me a grade on what I've done? Because we only have 5 more weeks and this year's gone.
Mr. Thomas, can you hear me,
Yes,
sir? It's Fetty
Yes,
Sherman out of Cleveland, Ohio.
Yes, Mr. Sherman.
Yes, sir. I've seen a lot of families that have adopted children, and you can always tell which child is adopted. But in your family, all of them yours. You don't know who's adopted. So I would give you an awesome A, and thanks for everything. And another thing that you did, I've always had a fear of talking to people, not being sharp enough. Man, I have the fear, but I face the fear anyway. My customer production is moving up. The people that I'm talking to is a better quality. Sir, if I was to try to tell you thank you, nobody else will get another call.
Okay, thank you, sir. Mr. Sherman. Thank you, Mr. Freddie Sherman.
Thank you.
I remember this lady in my first MLM. Her name was Rose Lay, L-A-Y. I never forget this lady. And she was from a place called Little Rock, Arkansas. And she lived out in the country. And they lived in a single wide, excuse me. And she picked me up one day from the airport, and they took me to a meeting, and we went to her house to go eat first. And she picked me up, and I'll never forget it. We went out to her little place outside of Little Rock, Arkansas. I think it was off of Battery Street, out in the country. They're country folks. And she had that old conference line. Well, Miss Al Thomas, we're happy to have you out here. Thank y'all for coming. Thank you for coming, sir. And we went out. My mom got some supper on for us, and I'll never forget this, Mr. Freddie Sherman. Went out to this little single wide. And I'm not, I love everybody. This is how I am. Good old country girl, and went out there, and she goes, now my mother's not used to seeing that many black folks out in this part of the country. So I told her you were black and you're coming out for dinner, for supper. And my mom got so excited because she saw some of your videos, son, and we got a special meal cooked for you. And I said, really? She goes, yeah. And I was hungry. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I was hungry. My stomach, you ever get so hungry, your stomach, Dee go, you ever do that, Miss Dee? Your stomach, right? And I got out to her house, and I come a little single wide. It was a single wide on, about 5 acres. Well, a little mobile home. So y'all don't know, a little single wide mobile home. A double wide is 2, but single wide is single. So just give y'all. And I was hungry as heck. She said, I hope you're hungry. And I didn't say nothing. We got in the house, and I smelled, and she goes, I said, what's for supper? She goes, Mama's celebrating. We got 3 possums in the pot for you. 3 possums. I thought about the Beverly Hillbillies, Mr. Dale Ransom. And I said, hey, that sounds great. Man, good thing I ate before I left. I'm not that hungry. I'm not. Bless her heart. That's what they say in the South when they mean something else. But bless your heart. And my stomach was growling. And she said something to me that I never forgot. She goes, look, in life, you got to go on ahead anyhow, no matter what and who comes with you. And I thought about that. Miss Natasha Ismail, sometimes you got to go in life anyhow, no matter what, to make it happen for you and your family. And when she said that, and I'm in her little single wire, and I got possum, 3 possums in the pot looking at me, I said, Lord have mercy. That is so true. So Ms. Walker, you got to go on ahead anyhow. Miss Carter, you got to go on ahead anyhow. And I never forget how she said that. This old country, good. My mother never had any colors. Sometimes you just got to go on ahead anyhow. And I tell you, I can tell y'all some things of places around this country and this world I've been because of ACN. And I mean, I've been from the White House to a KKK meeting because it was Al Thomas. I lived through it. No, I'm serious. Y'all have no idea how blessed I am and some of the places I've been because of ACN and network marketing. I'm telling you, I've been in some spots. I have been in some spots where they had the hoods in the back of the jeans. But that's Al Thomas, y'all. Leave him alone. That's Al Thomas, by God. He's a good old boy. I'm telling you, I could tell y'all some stories, but because of my life and because I want you to understand what I'm going to say here, and because you all, not because of me, because maybe I've taught you how to bless other people, the blessings are going to come back around to you. I have been in some spots. I could write a book, 3 or 4 books on things I've seen in network marketing, places I've been, and because of who I was and got in and out of, but some people didn't. But the blessing is you have to understand who you are and what you have in your hands. You guys have a business that will bless you beyond measures, beyond your wildest dreams, if you grab a hold of it and run with it and don't look left, don't look right. Because some of you, because you give on the left, you think your blessing is going to come back on the left. It ain't going to come back on the left. It may come back on the right. It may come up from here. It may come down, but you got to keep going anyway. And that's one of the things that drive me as people. I don't see, I just see people. And I want you to see people. And right now, people are hurting. So I want to thank you for that insight. I want to thank you, Mr. Freddie Sherman, for what you said. Because sometime, my friend, you got to go on ahead anyhow, despite your fears. Because as you walk towards your fears, you overcome those fears. And a lot of you have overcome some fears, and a lot of you have more fears to overcome. But trust me in this. Trust me, trust me, trust me. As you walk towards it, it will dissipate. Lord have mercy. As you walk toward it, it what? Dissipates. But the moment you stop, it overtakes you because you stopped in the fear. And fear stands for false education appearing real, only in your mind. How many times have you feared something and it never came true, but you feared it and the fear stopped you? Don't let fear stop you. Fear is nothing more than a thing for you to overcome. So thank you, Mr. Freddie Sherman, for that. Long story, but I want to get that point across. Sometimes you got to go on ahead anyhow. Next person.
Good evening, Mr. Thompson. Mr. Thomas, I'm sorry.
That's all right. You call me Faye. You can call me Jay. You can call me anything. Go ahead.
No, this is Dee Dee from New Jersey. I was having some major challenges, and I was asking Mr. Clemens how to help me, but I figured it out. So I just wanted to say that everyone has basically gave you the sentiments that you willingly, well and willingly deserve for all of your efforts and support that you have given everyone. But I always love the teaching that you have given us, especially when you tell us the story about imagining a bank depositing 86,400 dollars in your bank account every day and carries no balance. That story has always, stays in my mind, and it gives me the direction and the focus that I need when I think about what am I going to do with the next 86,400 seconds
I love
that's
it.
deposited each year. So that's what I always carry. I always, fill my thoughts and my actions based on that information that you've taught me. So it's definitely insightful and powerful, and that's just who you are, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're very welcome, dear. And I'm glad that blessed you because we all have it every day. Thank God we have that. Thank you, dear. Next, let me tell y'all something. Because of what I'm giving, my biggest prayer for every one of you, 2021 is going to be so explosive because if you take this information and run with it, I tell you what, you guys will be RDs and RVPs and some will hit SVPs. If you really get after it, really do. And look, I want nothing but the best for every one of you. Like a parent wants the best for their child, I want nothing but the best for every one of you. That's all I care. I really do. Thank you so much, Ms. Sanders.
Mr. Al Thomas, Tim Kennard, Minnesota.
Yes, sir.
The first thing that you taught me was right at the beginning of the year. You said that not everyone can go where we're going in 2020, as before the weird situation happened worldwide. I know a lot of what slowed me down for a lot of years is I was trying to bring people who didn't want to come on the journey because I cared about them, I loved them, and I thought that the only way I could win was with them. You showed me specifically that you have to find the leaders, you don't create the leaders. The other thing that you taught me was about me personally. You're one of the few people in my life who want the best for me and believe that I can win no matter what, regardless of who I am. And you've taught me you don't have to be special to win. You just have to have the desire to drive and keep going. And that has meant a lot to me and my family. And that's why I'm excited to bring my daughter here. Hopefully she doesn't cause trouble, but I want her to hear from you because in our circles that I'm around, they believe that everything good will come after you die and you go to heaven. And you're one of the few Christians I've met that has changed my thinking that I can have it now. The faith in the kingdom is here and I can be a strong Christian and love the Lord and grow a business. And I'm not trying to preach. I am a preacher. I'm not trying to preach, but I thank you for your leadership and your patience with me and believing in me when a lot of people don't. Thank you.
You're very welcome, sir. You know, there's a lot of Christians that get it twisted. Heaven is here on earth. It's what you do with it. You know, people want to die in heaven. Like, no, well, let me be quiet. I just want to say thank you. I can go off on a whole tangent on that, but with scripture, but I don't want to do that tonight. It's not that night. Tonight is for you guys to grade me on what I've done so I can check myself out to make sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing in the manner I'm supposed to be doing it in. So a lot of leaders don't care about what you think about them. Well, I do, because if I'm leading, I have a responsibility. I don't want to get up there and say, well, look, I gave you a talent, I gave responsibility, and you didn't do what I asked you to do. And I don't want that to be, I don't want to be that person. So I need a report card from you guys to let me know what I've done, what you have learned from me this year, and what you have implemented to change your life this year. Because I need to know what my report cards say. I'm not that little kid in the phone booth. I'm checking up on myself. Next person. Thank you so much, Mr. Tim Carrard.
This is Latasha Walker.
Yes, Ms. Walker.
Well, you helped me with fear and to believe more in myself. Because I guess I forgot or just stopped believing in myself to do what I needed to do. And I can tell that you really do, you know, really care and really love me unconditional to get to whatever position.
That's a beautiful thing, dear. You know, we're not taught. Yeah, I hate to say it, from the time of birth, our mothers and fathers don't know no better, because who taught them? Their parents. Who taught them? Your grandparents. Who taught them? Your great grandparents. They always talk about you can't have, what you can't believe, what you can't do. And it's sad that by the time we're 7, it's all synchronized in our mind that will never amount to nothing. And when you come along with somebody to tell you you can be something fantastic, to show you how to become successful, it goes against every principle we have taught, because a child by the age of 7 is indoctrinated with all their beliefs for the rest of their life. That's why when a young baby is born, they're open. There's only 2 things that a baby is fearful of. There's only 2 things, everybody. Write this down. When a baby's born, there's only 2 fears, F-E-A-R. It's only 2 fears a baby have. Everything else, you, me, mom, dad, sister, we instill in that child. A child is born with 2 fears. Here they are. The fear of loud noises. That fear of loud noises scares a child. The second fear a baby is born with, the fear of falling. When they fall, they grab you. They have everything else. We, mom, dad, we put in that child. Prejudice, we put in that child. Believing they can't have something, shut up, be quiet. Your daddy was nothing, your mom. We put in that child. So you have to be very careful of what you instill in your children. My daughter's gone this way. I sent her somewhere this weekend. My son, hey, daddy, hey, whatever you need. Why? Because I believe in them. I never once told them what they cannot have, what they cannot become. And I've said to you guys before, if my parents were here on the left, my dad, my right here, and I said, I'm going to the moon, they go, hey, I go to the bathroom, they go, I don't know when he's going, but he's going. Because I was always that person that believed in me. And I was born that way. Parents say what you can't. I had that too. But I made a decision. Oh my God. I and you can make that decision. As of 21 years old, you are, or even at 18 or 16, you can make that decision. Or you can make the decision to hold on to that crap or garbage you've been told your whole life. Unfortunately, as you talk to people, they're not saying no to you. No, they're not. Don't take it personal. They're not saying no to AC, and don't take it personal. They're saying, no, I don't know no better. My mama was a garbage man. My daddy was a garbage. I don't know no better. I just don't. So they're not saying, so don't take it personal. So many of us, when somebody tells us no, we take it so personal. Just talking to people sometimes about changing things up, we take it personal. It's not personal, it's business. And you can't grow. Look, if I clamp down every time somebody tells me something, I can't grow. I learn by opening it up and learning new things. What did I say about Mr. Lewis yesterday? I learned something I never knew before. Like, oh my God, I never thought about it that way. Wow, Al Thomas, wake up. That's a new way of looking at it. I grew yesterday. I grew leaps and bounds by what he said to me, what it was said to everybody. But notice, I always take things, hey, what can I learn? And if you think you know a lot, go visit a library in your city and tell you what you really don't know. So I said, wow, that was somewhere a new way of looking at it. Wow. Some of you know, like I was telling Mr. Tasha Ismail about a month ago, I told my daughter, hey, I got an hour. I want you to teach me something. I'll pay you for it. Because I'm studying evolving. Some people want to call Miss Lewis, I'm evolving. Yes, that's what a leader is supposed to do, is evolve to learn. And look, how you did one thing for so long might have worked then, but it's a new day, you got to do something different. And you got to be able to be flexible, or should I say, be able to pivot to do something and learn something new. Now, what if I kept using the whiteboard when I did a training right now? Y'all said, what is wrong with that guy? Man, he's from the old era. He's not moved in the 21st century. Yes, I have. But we have to be able to evolve when somebody gives us something we may be uncomfortable with. And sometimes that's really hard on our pride and our ego, because we're used to doing things a certain way that it hurts us sometimes. But we have to be open to learn. And all of a sudden our rocket ship go 10 times faster. But what if we held on to the old ways? What if I got on here with a whiteboard and an eraser and highlighters? Like, what is wrong with that guy? Hasn't he known we're in a, things have changed? So he's just put out a video now. I remember, y'all remember we used to have the videos, you'd buy the videos, send the videos out. And now we just we just text and email now. It's like, whoa, no cost. Look. But what if we all held on to the old way of doing business? What would be today? We wouldn't be where we're at today. That's why you have to be able to pivot as things come at us to change. Change is very uncomfortable, but it's relevant. Thank you so much, Ms. Walker. And dear, you're going to be fantastic. Just keep believing in yourself. You're going to be where you need to be. And when people are like animals, see, a dog can sense. Let me say this: a dog can sense if you're scared of him or not, or her or not. So with confidence, they know that you know that you know. And it's the same way with people. The more confidence you build in yourself, the more people feel that you know what you're talking about. Remember this: people don't follow people with money. They follow people with vision. Give people visions of where you're going with your business, not money. Give them vision. I've learned that a long time ago. People don't follow people with money. They follow people that have a vision. Thank you, Ms. Walker. Anybody else?
Yes, Mr. Thomas, this is Pat Robinson.
Yes, dear.
You've been a blessing to me because I've never had a mentor before. And you show so much care for people. I mean, it comes from your heart. And you let everyone know that there's somebody and not to be afraid, because people are people just like you are. And all you have to show is your confidence and your courage, like you said the other day, and just get out there and do it. And don't be afraid to hear no. Don't be afraid to hear no. And I've learned that from you, and I don't want to start crying, but you always use the Bible, and I've learned to be about self-development. Oh my God. I didn't know anything about self-development until I got into ACN. I've read so many books now to help myself. And from reading these books, you're reading the things that you read is coming from the Bible. And you always said, just pick up that Bible. It's coming from the Bible, what these people are writing about. And I mean, it really touches me. And like I said, I'm blessed that that you're in my life. And I love all my brothers and sisters on here because I have a new family. And a rating for you, there's no rating for you. I mean, you're off the charts for me, and thank you.
Well, thank you.
I appreciate you.
We are family. Got all my IBOs with me. This past week, somebody talked about courage and confidence. Who was that? Does anybody remember? Go back to your notes. Huh?
Dwight.
And who else?
Natasha.
That's right.
Tasha.
That's right. On Monday. See there? See there?
Yeah.
See, look. See, I tell you, I study every one of you. She talked about on courage and confidence on Monday. You see, that's why it's so vital, important to take notes. And then don't just take them, go back and study them throughout the day, study them throughout the week, like a Bible study. As far as the Bible, Mr. Williams talked about that a lot. But see, if you notice, every motivational speaker, whatever you want to call them, every word is Bible-based. And I'm not here to preach or anything like that, but it's nothing new. There's nothing new in the sun. It's all in that little black book. BIBLE, basic instruction before leaving Earth. And if you get in there, everything you hear is in there. It's just said in a different way to make people understand. Oh, some people receive it better by this person. Oh, that was really good. But it's all in that little book. And I'm not, I just want to say that because I am nobody special. I just want to help you get confidence. I want to help you become all you can become. Mr. Bree Clemens and I, we talk about this a lot. Miss Natasha Ismail is another. We talk about this. We want nothing but the best for all of you, and I want to thank her publicly again, her and Mr. Bree Clemens, for coming out with Monday. They saw a need for it, the Monday Power Hour. There's a need for that. I came out with a happy hour because there was a need for that as we're going through what we're going through in the beginning. Everybody was freaking out. Hey, let's take that tension off. Let's laugh a little bit. We're taking life a little too serious when we do, but we still need that outing, that outlet. We can't get together personally, but it was outlet. When I went last Friday and Saturday to Fresno, it wasn't about the IBOs. It wasn't about gathering customers. It wasn't getting in front of new people. It was just us coming together as family. It was just family, and it just felt so doggone, it was priceless. And now that we saw each other, we touched, we hugged, we cried, we moved on. Now we can go back into battle again and put on our shield of armor and put on our breastplate and get our sword out and our shield. And now we go back to battle again. But sometimes, like a car, it does need the gasoline in it. You got to get gassed up sometime. International was a way of getting gassed up. Just last weekend was a way of getting gassed. These calls are a way of getting gassed up. Leadership, like I said, is not for everybody. I never call anybody bug them to go get on it because it's only for leaders. And you all are leaders and you're here to learn. My job is to be as transparent as possible. You can ask me what you want to ask me. I got nothing to hide from you because one day in my prayers, you'll have an organization of tens of thousands of people and you're going to look back and say, okay, what did I learn here? What did I learn there? Now let me go take my team and build them to a massive amount of people. And the only way you're going to get there is having a leader that's transparent, that you can ask him or her whatever it is, and they want you to succeed. Does that make sense? Regardless of organization you're in. And people always say, well, why you get it? Because I love people. And not everybody loves people. If you're not in their money line or whatever they call it, they care less. No, I've always been on top for 27 years because I always loved everybody. And I always gave 100%. And I want the same thing. So when you guys start making, getting up there, remember, help everybody, not just your team. Be a blessing. Be that person that people think about. Be that person that, it's just be that person. One or two more people, a person to tell me what my scorecard looked like, and we'll end the call tonight. Because I just wanted to get my scorecard read from you guys. Not from everybody. I just left this for the leaders, for leadership.
Mr. Thomas, hi, it's TJ.
Yes,
and I
TJ.
wanted to say, just thank you. One of the things that I appreciate about your report card, if you want to call that, is that you teach us. And one of the things I appreciate is like when you're sharing with us, you repeat it. You go back over it and you recap it. So if somebody wasn't listening or whatever, we can get that information again. That's very, very helpful for people who learn like I learn. And I also wanted to say that you have a way about you that you give to us, and it's how we spell love. Most people spell love Love, and I noticed you spell love Time. And I really appreciate that. There's no SVP or no other person that I'm aware of that gives us at least 1 hour each and every day, every single day, 7 days a week, pouring and sowing back into us, sowing for us to be able to reap the harvest by doing what we need to do. So I really appreciate those two things about yourself. And what you elevate me for is you said that you'll outwork anybody. So I'm back here in Ohio saying I'm going to outwork Mr. Thomas. I'm going to, some kind of way, it's going to show up. So you just keep watching. It's going to show up. Well, that consistency, I love the consistency, not just in the time, but in the stories and what you share. And you're consistent about pouring into us. The level of leadership, the people who are on the call that you pour into us on a daily basis, or I shouldn't say daily, but the themes, the weeks since October and beyond, before October, I've got copious notes of you doing that. And it's so appreciated because when you share and you teach, you're showing me, you said some things that it's like an explosion in my brain that says, you elevated my level of thinking. You elevated, like, I'm trying not to let my eyes sweat at this moment, excuse me. But one of the things in particular is when you shared how you took care of your dad. And I really wanted to do for my dad what you and Mr. Nelson, the SVP, have been able to do, and not skip a beat in life. And so that's still possible. I still have my mom here, so maybe I can do that for her. But I appreciate just expanding and stretching our minds so that we can have what it is that you have. You don't seem to be a selfish person in any way, shape, form, or fashion. One of my favorite things outside of love and being kind is giving. So I just want to thank you for being that example and being consistent and allowing to, even I appreciate getting the feedback. In one of the seminars that I did the other day, I talked about how Mr. Maxwell, he says that, go and talk to a couple people and get some feedback from them, and you put it to a whole nother level. He says just a couple people, and here you are with, as many people on the call tonight to say, let me hear some feedback and add it to your day. So thanks for being a humble, incredible leader. Thanks for sharing who you are, how you are, where you're going, and your full heart. And I have this program and project I've been working on. It's called Neon Hearts. And sir, you have an absolutely positively shining neon heart. And we thank you, good and bad, up and down, all across the board. Thank you for all you do and all you are. And thank you, team. And Mr. Dupree Clemens, thank you too.
Yeah, thank you for saying so, because I couldn't do anything without him. I'm telling you, he's been my rock. He's been my guy. I tell you, if I go through a day, like I call him this, I mean, I feel bad. I haven't talked to him, usually talk 3 or 4 times a day. When I go a day without talking to him at least once, so I feel, man, is everything, you know, because we're connected. And the other day I was driving down to LA with my daughter, and I talked to him once that day. And I felt like, you know, it's not usual. It's unusual. But also, everybody, I'm very particular who I have on these calls in front of you. I'm very particular. Everybody, I'm very particular because I want you to have the people I have on these calls and talking, from Ms. Ismail to Giles and Driscoll to Mr. Julian Lewis, to just Mr. Williams, to everybody, Mr. Caesar, all the leaders. I'm very particular because I have to be careful who I put in front of you, first of all. They have to represent the same ideologies and respect I have for the company and what you can become, and people who have long-term vision and not just being selfish, but they're here to help you. Does that make sense? So I do have a responsibility and a calling on my life to give you the best that I can give. And all I ask you to do, so I want you guys between now and next Friday is get as many people on these calls as possible. Weekday, weekend, you know, 9 o'clock calls, 6 o'clock, get people on them. Because one thing is, we're putting out this quality of information, and if you're not capitalized on it, you're really doing yourself an injustice. So please get people on the call. You know, I'm going to use Miss Collins, for example, over in Australia. She got on these calls and just started blowing up her numbers, and then she got Miss Katz on, then she got Miss Ingrid on, then she got Mr. Ad. I mean, all of a sudden, all these Australian people are popping up. But you know why? Because she's got the results. She's doing everything I asked her to get people on the call. She's doing it. Go get coming. Now her customer points are well off the chart. That's why people in Australia are coming on, because they see her results. I want that to happen for everyone on view. But if you're not inviting in people on these calls, that's not going to happen for you. You got to get them on here. Now, what we can do, if you want, next Saturday, I'll open it up on Q&A, on throwing things at me that you have a problem with, the answering, or the backbone of posture, because I did that for the last 2 weeks, because I want you guys to be the best. But if you're not utilizing and using, and look, I expect, this time I call 5 people, here's the response I got. Okay, I got 5 that didn't show up, I got 8 that did. See, that tells me that you're in the trenches working with the information that I've given you. Because with this information, your numbers are going to go up. And I know you have a lot more people on call. When I see the people are not getting people on these calls, I know you're not even implementing the information. And I said that once before about Miss Collins. Wow, look at Miss Collins. All of a sudden, all these start jumping on. Why? Because she's got results. She's doing what everybody should be doing on this call. And now we got Miss Superstar, Miss Katz on, and she's a power. I'm going to tell you, we're going to hear a lot from that lady. I'm going to tell you that right now. She is a powerhouse. I just love her spirit. She is a powerhouse. You have no idea. I just feel her spirit so strong on these calls, you know, because she has a lot to say, not only for IBOs, but for women. She's a powerhouse, ladies and gentlemen. I know it. I know that I know that I know. But you need to take advantage of these calls by getting people on here. Look at every speaker I've got on this past week. Monday, Miss Ismail. Tuesday, Mr. Lewis. Wednesday, we had Mr. Woods on from Vivid. Thursday, excuse me, Wednesday, Mr. Williams. Thursday, Vivid. Friday, we had Mr. Top on from Caesar. You know, you guys got so much, and you are not getting one person on. So pay me back by getting at least 10 people on between now and next Saturday. So next Saturday, I want your report card on how many people you've had on this week. Okay, your report card, and I'm not gonna. It's what do they call that? It's when you have to be accountable yourself. What's it called?
Voluntary.
Voluntary. Well, not only voluntary, but I want you to be serious about the numbers. You take the count of the 10 people you get on here. Honorary. It's an honorary. It's
Scouts
honorary.
honor.
Yeah, Scouts honor. Be honest with yourself. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to yourself. But next Saturday, I want a poll. I want a number. How many people you actually had on? Just be honest. Because if we're going to grow this into thousands of people in 2021, it takes you to be honest with yourselves. Tonight, I want to be transparent with. I want to report card back how I've done for the year. We got 5 more weeks. This year is gone. But I want you the next week to have 10 people on these calls. You know the schedule. I don't have to tell you. And I want transparency. Yes.
Sir, before you end today's call, I think we Aussies would like to jump on. And Di, you go first because you've got me on this call. So no, you go first, Di.
Thank you.
Yours.
See what I'm talking about, Miss Cass? Look at her. She's a leader. Look at that lady.
Kaz, no, you go first because I want to end with something. I've just thought, just you go first, darling.
You got it. Mr. Thomas, I just wanted to really simple words. Everyone's covered everything. Just thank you. For me, I joined these calls. Diane joined some of the calls that I do on Mondays. I do Monday mindset calls with a small group of people from Australia and from India. Nothing to do with ACN, just people joining and talking about their limitations, their life, which we cover here in many ways as well. And, you know, this year has been challenging, not just with COVID and things. I've become a single mother after 20 years of marriage. So it was a challenging year. And as much as I give out, you said today yourself, we need to come and refuel and recharge. Even if it's nothing that I do with ACN or probably bring no customers on, this is my charging dock. This is my charging station every weekend. It's really good to be part of it. So thank you very much. Of course, I joined your calls a few weeks before I was about to hit RD. So it was even the cherry on top to be really part of this whole family. Came as a refugee, and I feel as part of the family now. So thank you very much. I'm sure when we meet in person, the energies will come together and I'll give you the tightest hug I can. So thank you very much. Thank you everyone for making us feel so welcome and part of everything and giving us an opportunity to share, talk, connect, learn, grow, you know, cry, everything and just be ourselves and really make it special for us. So this is really good for me. Even in the weekends, I don't have my kids. I'm here. This is my hour and a half to connect. And it really feels good that I'm part of a bigger family. So thank you very much, sir. You're an amazing, you know, servant leader. It's very nice to have you in part of my life.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. I hope I hug you first, or you beat me to it. So it's gonna be a test. They're gonna who does it better. There you go.
And thank you, Diane. You've been an absolute champion for sharing this opportunity and bringing us on. So thank you, Diane.
Pleasure. All right, I'm going to just have a quick say as well. I've been wanting to say this on my thoughts, and this was this was just gold for me today. And I've just written a quick couple of notes. So I've been thinking over the past couple of months since I've been with you guys. Your report card. Well, I am a Jimbaroo teacher, so we don't give out report cards for such little kids. But your report card for me would be as now, where's TJ and I think Pat Robinson said as well, off the charts. You don't need a report card. You're the dean. You're the dean. I've never been to university, so I don't know how high that you can go in a university, but you're it. You are the epitome of learning. Oh God, I've got to pull myself together. What you've given myself is belief, like all of us, strength and courage. And the connection with people that you keep saying is extremely important. And that's what I've always done in my life with the jobs that I have. I'm used to working in banking, used to be a branch manager as well. And so customers are extremely important, as I know, with keeping them happy and coming back as well. But what you've also done is you've never told me, you've always instilled in us to never give up on our dreams and always to think big. And if they go left, the crowds go left, we've got to go right. And that's what I've been doing with trying to get people on this call. And as you know, and as you said, my numbers have blown up because I've really become confident and learning. You have a heart of gold, and your heart, you just give, share your wisdom and your knowledge. And you just give with love, and there's no price tag. People ask to go on these calls would cost thousands, probably millions with your knowledge, but you don't ever ask, you just give, and you just ask us to just try. That's your payment, and that's just amazing. You also, you've told us we have to, the ingredients to success, it starts with you, faith, have a burning desire, commitment, determination. You must be coachable, persistent, and you follow the system. That's what you've told us all. You've shared with us what the true meaning of family is all about, as Kaz said. Like, I'm just from Australia, and I actually asked Natasha, I'll probably text her to see if I could stay on this group, because I'd learned so much and felt so welcomed. You've taught me to think like an eagle, like all of us. I now sift and work hard like a gold digger, as Mr. Lewis said. I am, and we all are a teacup. We're unique. We all have talents. And in one hand, I have a baton, and in the other hand, I'm running. And in the other hand, because I want to change my family tree. You've taught us, Mr. Thomas, to have backbone and posture, to build on a brick one at a time, and to make sure they are straight, so you have a solid foundation for your business. Everything you teach us with pride, and to act properly, not do a false, be yourself, be true to yourself, and that will shine and come out, and you will have customers that stay for a lifetime. You must listen with our ears and speak less with our mouth. And I learned with Kaz, if you put two ears together and a mouth, what does it show? What does it draw? It's a heart. And you always say to work with your heart. You must be and give with your heart. We have to be grateful and be a giver unconditionally and give all the time. And you've always told us you have to have one hand open to receive, and you have the other hand closed to run. In closing, just there's two things that come to mind. And I love how you speak with the Bible, because that's where everything is stemmed from, and that we should take it and into our lives and every day, and thank God. To me, for a long time, I have thought about this. I feel that we are boats in the ocean, and you are our lighthouse. You are strong. You have been through and weathered so many seasons and things in life. You let us run our own businesses, but every now and again you shine your light to bring us back in, because we're looking for that road and that guidance. But you allow us to make mistakes, but you never ever judge us. You just explain again until we get it, and then we move on. So you are our lighthouse. We are your flock. And what one thing come to mind in the movie, Mr. Holland's Opus, we are your symphony. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Ms. Collins.
Aussie, 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 Dan, go.
Everybody, I want you guys, wow. Look at the screen, everybody. That was very powerful. Did everybody notice the notes she took? Wow. See, that's what I'm talking about. She regurgitated a lot of notes. Where's Miss Ismail? Let me see her real quick. I want to see her face about the teacup. That teacup was phenomenal. She even regurgitated the teacup, Miss Ismail. Notes. Ozzy. Today actually is my mentor. Did I mention that earlier about today? Is my mentor's 67th anniversary out of Australia, Peter J. Daniels. Changed my life forever. One of the billionaires that touched my life at a young age. They got me to go to Singapore to go across for the Youth for Christ. The rainbow followed the jet all across the Pacific coast. It was amazing, across the ocean. I never had a rainbow follow a plane. and I got to Australia. Got to Singapore. Never been to Singapore before. Got there and I sat there, and they wanted me to join the International Board of Youth of Christ. Anyway, it's a long story. But today is his anniversary, 67th year anniversary is today. He's Australian, down in Perth. Anyway, man, it's a lot. See how lives check, how lives touch lives. And he came to Christ through Billy Graham. But anyway, you guys have no idea. You're a beacon for the next 2 or 3 generations. Every one of you have a calling on your life to learn financial matters with ACN, to produce more leaders, to carry the torch, to carry it on. Mr. Marvin Carter just got awarded twice in the last couple of weeks for his, high school to the school in Fresno, from South Chicago to the high school he played at in Fresno. You're all the leaders on this call. If I can get you guys to stand up and do what you really have in your heart to do for your families, you'll be amazed what you guys can accomplish. And I'm gonna tell you something. For the 31 of you that's left on this call, I want at least 10 people in the next week, and I want to wrap up next Saturday with how many people you had actually on this call to help them help you. See, quit thinking about you. You have a responsibility to help people. And some of you haven't got anybody on here yet. Get them on here. So by next week, we're gonna have Mr. Clemens hold me to that. We're gonna wrap it up by a head count of how many people had people on here. It's honorary. I'm gonna take your word for it. Nobody's gonna ask you for numbers, but to see in your hearts of hearts how many people you have on. Now I'm gonna end the call with I've got 2 things I want to show you tonight.
Mr. Thomas.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, could I say something real quick?
You say something quickly? Okay.
Well, first, I want to give you an S and a D, super dad, super father, because my father passed away a couple of years ago, and my wife was lucky enough to meet him, and he was a mentor to us, helped us in our marriage and our life, but now you have become our father. And by being unselfish, helping everybody, welcoming people from all over the world. I've also lost some of my fears, and you have given us faith. So many things that everybody mentioned tonight. So just thank you for being our new dad mentor. We love you. And we felt your love when you came to Osaka as well. And thank you for teaching me to summarize things. I know you have told me that. So thank you, sir. That's all.
Yes. You have grown so much since I've been mentoring you guys, and it was a pleasure meeting you last May when I was in Osaka. Also, the friendship and love that we've bonded since then and talked about a lot of things. Thank you so much to me also with some things, okay? And you know what I'm talking about. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Look, you guys are all awesome on this call. I just want nothing but the best for you, but please get busy in your business. We have 5 weeks left in this year, and this year is gone. Not month, but year is gone. And all I'm trying to do is prepare you for 2021. So let's make sure we understand. I've got a couple things I got 2 little things we're gonna lighten up the call with tonight. I wanna show you, sometime when a mentor gives you something, you take it the wrong way. And some of you take it in a big way. So we have 2 pictures we want to show you tonight of what a coach told a young man and how he took it one way, and maybe you'll see it a different way. All right, here's the first one of 2. My trainer said I could only have 1 slice. As a trainer, I'm telling you, you can have 1 slice of knowledge, and that's a big piece. So some of you will take it and run with it. And so your trainer said you can only have 1 slice. Some people will take the knowledge you give them and adapt it to what's best for them. Does that make sense? Okay, good. Now, the people that you give a slice to, and let's just say they just don't know, they just want to take it all in at one time. Next picture, sir. Now, I know this is not you guys, but some people are just glutton it with things. They go overboard with things. Now, the reason why I showed you these two pictures is because the first one, I want you to reflect on the knowledge and take all the knowledge in. The second one is showing you that if you get the wrong stuff, it'll put weight on you. But only that, but you need to keep everything in perspective. Tonight, I need to be put in perspective of my role because I want to know, A, have I fed you right? And B, that you're still getting the good stuff. Does that make sense? And with that said, I just wanted to lighten it up tonight because I know there's a lot of tears have dropped on papers and on journals tonight, and people have Kleenex out, and Mr. Clemens was also wiping his eyes as well. So I just wanted to end it with something a little humorous tonight to lighten it up, because I want to let you know I love you guys and I want nothing but the best. Dee Dee Sanders, Miss Sensational, Miss Natasha Ismail, Mr. Dale Ranson. But I got to get you all prepared for 2021. Okay. So our goal is for leaders only, and you guys are leaders, is let's get 10 people on these calls by next Saturday and report back next Saturday. So if you're not on the call next Saturday, report. I know that, I don't know. So please be back next Saturday with a full report on how many people you had on the calls Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday potential. Okay. Can we do that as a group? All right. Well, listen, I thank you guys for my report card. I appreciate it. I'm going to go back and go over this. And I thank you all. There's a couple of you I was looking to hear from, but you know who you are. And I know what would happen if you did. This is Tassie's Miller. So I want to thank you all for your time tonight. Thank you all for allowing me to mentor you. God bless you. Tomorrow night, we're going to have, oh my God, we're going to replay, which, oh my God, this is so, don't miss tomorrow night's product training. Please don't miss it. It's going to be a very good one, okay? It's going to be a very good one. We have another, okay, play the third, we have a third picture. I'm sorry, I forgot the third picture. Yes, sir. Here we go. And yes, yes, yes. This is how I feel after I talked to you guys tonight, that I've done my job. I've done what I had to go do. And I really feel good about it. So thank you all for an outstanding report card. Even though that's not me, but that's how I feel right now. I feel so honored. I feel so honored to mentor you guys, that I want nothing but the best for you. So God bless you guys. Yes, 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 yes. I'll see everybody tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. God bless. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.